What is up, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic night. I'm so sorry about starting this a little more like much later than I usually do. I was kind of busy throughout the day with school and whatnot, studying for finals per usual. Those are always coming next week. Still can't believe that this semester's already almost done. My first in my law program, so we'll see how things end up. That is a story for another time, a story for next week. Let us begin Symphonic Rain, right where we left off yesterday, on the 1st of December. I finished my morning practice as always, and finished eating. Torta seemed to have just finished eating too and was staring at me like she wanted to know what I was going to do. What? What are you going to do now? What am I going to do? I'm just getting started, so I'll look for a partner without rushing it. You do need to rush things a little. I found some promising candidates, though. Really? That's good, then. Really, so don't worry. Okay, well, I'm going home today. Alright, no problem. See you tomorrow. So, what are we going to do today? Today, we're going to go to the old wing, because I guess that's the only thing we can do today. We get some new background artwork now. Aimlessly, I peeked in lecture halls where classes had finished and practice rooms with their doors open. I knew some of the faces of the passerby students. That's when I felt my social ineptitude, knowing nothing more about any of these people beyond perhaps even recognizing their faces. All I managed was to meet the gaze of one student nod slightly and just pass him by. Despite making up my mind to stop searching for the day, I still found myself walking in the rain. Of course, it's not like I liked getting wet, but the chill of the droplets that wet my skin, the distorted view when rain got into my eyes, somehow I couldn't hate the experience. I didn't feel like just leaving the school, and before I knew it, I was in a place I didn't even recognize. Okay, let me know if that's better. Okay, let's try that. Too loud, or do you guys think that's good? I didn't feel like just leaving the school, and before I knew it, I was in a place I didn't recognize. Okay, cool. Then we'll keep it at these settings now. With the noise of the school far away, a tranquil atmosphere enveloped the place. Off the tree-lined path that connected the gate and the school buildings, down a narrow path thickly covered with trees, was the old wing. The many musicians who graduated from the Pioba Communal School of Music increased the prestige of its name over its time. The number of students increased accordingly, and as facilities were expanded, the original old wing became cramped and now obsolete. With the help of the government and many aristocrats, the current first and second halls were built. The government assisted to help the country's rich culture permeate into the rest of the world. The aristocrats, I'm assuming, must feel some pride in that culture as well. Now, there are many children of aristocrats that are here among the students. And the original school building wasn't demolished, but rather left as a free space. It was regularly cleaned and the pianos were kept in tune by practicing students, but in the end it was no longer functioning as a school building. In fact, I was sure I hadn't been here once since I'd come to school. I heard from Asano that the aristocratic students in particular never came here. I had no reason to come since then, and that's all I knew about it. Wow. I was a little curious about the building I hadn't seen in so long, and I decided to look around a little. Even though it could be used freely, students usually never came to the old wing. It was probably the students writing lyrics or just wanted some alone time. But then I heard a singing voice amidst the rain. There was definitely someone inside singing. It was a trivial thing that I normally would have ignored, but from the sudden interest that had arisen, and the fact that I was searching for a partner, I decided to take a peek inside. Other than the voice I could hear, the place was silent, so it wasn't hard to find. The voice, along with some light, were spilling from a slightly open door. New character. She was singing. She threw herself into the song that filled the classroom unheard by anyone. I was no expert on vocals, but her voice was captivating. No matter what tomorrow brings, my interest was piqued as she sang without accompaniment, relying only on her voice. My fingers naturally moved as if pressing keys, and I imagined the sound of my fratelli mixing with her voice. As she finished the song, almost half the phrases were in my head. I felt like I could play it now at any time. The song itself wasn't very complicated, but the simple melody was beautiful, and it was made even more striking by her voice. The song was probably made for vocals, so the fratelli parts could be subdued. I thought of this as I drew closer to the door, and she quickly turned around just as she was about to start singing again. Who are you? I'm sorry. She must have been shocked at the sudden appearance of some random visitor, so she tensed up and didn't move. I didn't mean to intrude. The door was just open and I heard you. I'm sorry. Even after my light apology for peeking, she didn't make any move to answer me back. I started to now feel like I was spying on her. But considering that she was singing where anyone could pass by and that the door was open from the beginning, I didn't think I did anything too bad. Is something wrong? She looked slightly afraid, and she was still gazing at me reproachfully. I started to feel like I really did do something wrong. I backed out of the door to leave, and she grabbed her bag and slipped between me and the door as if she was waiting for the opportunity to leave. Excuse me. She was running with her head down, so she ran into me as I tried to get away. Textbooks and sheet music spilled from her open bag, and she fell on her bottom next to them. Is this our first? No, this isn't our first CG. Are you okay? I didn't think. Yeah, and the characters are very cute. The whole art style is really. I didn't think I was in the wrong, but I couldn't say I was completely without fault. I spoke to her, concerned, but all the while I did feel slightly indignant. Can I help you? She looked up at me, but she didn't speak. And in her eyes, tears even started to well up. I just heard your voice. I'm sorry. I came to see... I spoke gently to her, picked up her scattered sheet music, and held it out to her. I'll get you out of your way now. Come on. She just stared at the sheet music, but she didn't grab it. Your sheet music... I placed it at her feet, thinking to just leave, but I felt like that would also be a little too cold-hearted. Okay, I'll leave it here. I wanted to ask about her singing, but she was avoiding me so much the conversation wouldn't have gotten anywhere far even if I did ask, which meant that it would be best for me to leave without doing anything else. Thank you. She finally took the music I was holding out in her small, white hand. That hand was shaking. Don't worry about it. It was my fault for barging in on you like that. Was she really surprised? Somehow it seemed like it was more than that. But I didn't think I could press her about it, so not being there anymore would probably be best. Your singing was very, very good, and that's my opinion without asking, and you asking me anyways. Okay, I'll be going then. As she stood up and brushed the dust off her clothes, I bowed slightly and put my hand on the door. I turned in the direction of her voice behind me. She still had her eyes averted from my face and faltered as she tried to speak. The awkwardness was not going to dissipate by itself, so I urged her on with a gentle voice. Is something wrong? I'm sorry you had to hear that weird song. She said this with averted eyes like she was making an excuse. Weird? I don't think it was weird at all. I wasn't just being polite before. I meant what I said. Your singing is very good. I'm sorry. She bowed her head and apologized again. Even though there really was no reason for her to apologize. What do you mean you're sorry? Then she went silent again. Just what was I even supposed to do now in this situation? Since she was talking to me, she must not have wanted to leave me alone? There wasn't really any need to talk further, though, but I was concerned by the way that she was acting. She didn't look like her at all, but her attitude reminded me, at least in part, of a young Arietta. At that time, Ari was down on herself for being the only one without any musical talent. She assumed everything was her fault and was always apologizing. Of course, that was a rather long time ago, and now Ari had found something to be proud of. She no longer felt like that. Regardless, her attitude made it so that I couldn't just leave her alone. I knew from the color of her ribbon that she was a first year, so I softened my tone and slightly spoke to her again. Why are you practicing in a place like this? You know there's practice rooms on the main campus. I'm not a fan of crowds. I see. I guess in this place you've found the right place. It is nice and quiet. It was still clumsily, but she actually answered me normally, so I did feel a little better. You are... Sorry, nothing. An awkward silence pervaded the space between us. It seemed to be a habit for her to just apologize. You don't have to apologize so much. Why are you here? No reason. I was just passing by and I heard someone singing. I see. I didn't come here to practice, just in case you were wondering. okay. I said it as a little joke, but I guess it didn't register to her like that. I started to wonder if she was even listening to me. You should keep the door closed from now on. You never know when someone like me could be enticed and come in. I tried to leave after giving her advice, but then I heard her voice behind me yet again. I'll be careful next time, I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize. Alright. I almost got angry, but I suppressed it. I saw her just as Ari, just apologizing and not listening to the kind words. The more I thought of it, the more I thought of her, the more difficult it became to leave. She might just have thought I was nothing more than some busybody, but if my words could change something... After all, Arietta was able to change. I just probably needed to change the subject. At the very least, I no longer wanted to leave, as long as she didn't make a more obviously unhappy face. Are you a voice student? I tried to move on to a safer topic. It was just a social greeting for any students meeting the first time. Huh? For some reason, she looked surprised. She must have been surprised by the sudden change. I mean, you were singing so beautifully. Am I wrong about you being a student here? Oh, I'm a first year in voice. I see. So if you're a first year, was that song for some homework? No. Is it a famous song? No. Well, it is a good song. I'm sure whoever wrote it loves singing. You must like that song. It does sound like you practiced it many a time. Also, I couldn't see the sheet music for it. It wasn't a very hard song to memorize, but at the same time, I praised her. Anyone would be happy hearing praise for a song that they like singing. Of course, that was my plan. But I also did genuinely feel she did a very good song, or a good job on a beautiful song. Yes. What looked like a smile finally appeared on the face of the girl whose name I didn't know. I'm Christopher Burton. I'm a third-year Fratelli student. Would you like to play together sometime? Now relieved at her expression, I was finally able to ask her. It seemed pretty promising, but... Huh? She froze with a shocked expression and didn't say anything for a while. Did I say something wrong? No, it's cool if you can. I'm sorry. I was just thinking out loud. I said that to try and fix things, and she apologized with a thoughtful face. I'm sorry, but I gotta go home. She held her now closed bag under her arm and tried to pass by me. Not wanting things to end, I called at her from behind. Will you come back? No. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to bother you then. Lise, my name. She said that and left. It seemed as if she felt obligated to tell me her name since I had introduced myself. She didn't look angry, but she also said she was never coming back. Hey, but maybe it would be a good idea to come back here again. There was no guarantee that I'd ever see her again, and I may not have been welcome, but maybe there was just a chance. I peeked out the... Oh no, this game's probably going to take a turn, but I hope it doesn't go into that. I peeked out the window to see that the rain had finally gotten lighter. It was now time to go home. I wandered home, remembering her voice and the song that she sang. Welcome home. You're late again today, huh? Were you practicing? Kind of? I wiped my head with the towel in the entryway and put my bag down. I ended up not even touching my Fratelli. But I did hear a good song, so I wouldn't say that today was wasted. Did something happen today? Something a little different happened, I would say. Something different? What was it? And so, my usual interaction with Forney finished, and another day came to a close. We're December 2nd now. Practice and food. I passed the time until lunch like I always did and was thinking about what to do when Torta came and started talking to me. It's already been a week. Have you decided? Kind of. You're lying. I'm helping you look today. Do I have a choice? Of course not. I'm not giving you one. Okay. Don't make that face. I'm not mad or anything. I know. Then let's go. Yeah. First, right. She led me out of the cafeteria to the hallway lined with practice rooms. What are we doing here? Oh, I wanted to ask someone I know. Ask them? How? Torta peeked into the small window of a practice room as if she wasn't listening. Oops, that's not someone I know. Maybe here? Yeah, here we are. Wait a sec. A male student came out, perhaps having noticed the noise. Well, Tortanita. Hi, she was being forceful, but the student didn't seem to mind. In fact, he looked happy. So what did you want about that? Shh, Tora turned to me with a smile and started to introduce me. I knew I needed to introduce myself, but I just couldn't get the spirit and instead merely nodded my head. Chris, afternoon. Anyway, I'm sorry this is so sudden. No, I should apologize. Chris, sorry. Of course, this student would turn me down. I knew that more than half the responsibility of that decision laid with my attitude. I just apologized before she even had a chance to say anything. Are you doing this on purpose? It's not on purpose. It wasn't difficult to imagine what he thought of me, not even introducing myself properly and seeing the disinterested look on my face. Of course, I knew that I was the one asking. But I didn't feel like it was what I wanted. The fact was, I didn't feel good about that decision. Man, you are so unsociable. That's why you have no friends. Do you know that? Yeah, you're probably right. Of course I didn't deny it, including towards I could count my friends only on one hand. I didn't think to be more friendly. I wasn't dissatisfied with the situation though. We'll move on, but be more friendly next time, please. No, wait a minute. Isn't there some other way to do this? We're just asking them out of the blue. They're in the middle of practicing. He was still happy to talk to us though. If you weren't such a stick in the mud, he probably would have just said yes. No way. That may actually have been true though. If more than half the fault was my attitude, I think the rest could be attributed to the fact that I'm not the type that likes people very much. To be fair, it wasn't just him. It was simply that the school was not accepting of students like... I wonder what they mean by that. It was simply that the school was not accepting of students like me. Most of the students at... Oh, it's going to explain it. At the school were ambitious, always thinking about being successful in music. And that is the direction most of the teachers push you towards. There was only two kinds of students that didn't fit that mold. Those who'd fallen off the rails and those who didn't need to worry because of their exceptional abilities. The former looked down on, the latter envied. I thought I was the former, but I tended to be regarded as the latter because of my natural ability to play the fortelli and do so very well. And it would be okay if it was just about most students being jealous, but within that jealousy was also a sense of awe. I, however, wasn't trying to do that to my advantage. I'd already been told by Miss Cordell and Torture that people thought I was difficult to get along with. In short, I had no interest in getting along with people. But, as unsuitable as I was for the school, I didn't think that the school was unsuitable for me. Well, I suppose you could say it can't be helped. Yeah, it's as you say. Why was she so intent on carrying out this exercise of fertility, knowing me as well as she did? But let's look a little more. Having no prospects just won't do. At least this way we have a slight chance of finding someone. So she already knew. This was just for me. Okay. Yeah, now wear a smile. That is not happening. You have no motivation. Yes, I do. For now, right? Yep, no good. Good work. It's like you think it's someone else's job. Torta sat up from lying across the cafeteria table and pulled up a cup close to herself. Should be okay now. Not yet, it's hot. It's fine. That's hot. I told you so. You're making me feel uncomfortable just watching you. It's not exactly cold in here. I like it, so leave me alone. You know, you're bad with hot foods and hot drinks. Whatever. The drink must have cooled down as Torta brought it back to her mouth again happily. You've liked that forever. She was happily drinking her hot chocolate. That's really all hot chocolate called it was. Maybe you couldn't even call it a drink. You did drink it, but mostly the thick chocolate was eaten with a spoon. It's sweet and very filling, so I can never drink all of it. It's warm and sweet. It's the best. It may be winter, but I'm not cold at all. As I spoke of the words, I was reminded of my hometown, just like when reading one of Ari's letters. The country was split in two by mountains. We were born in the north, and now I'm living in the south. The climate was very different. It was warm here, even in the winter. I like it, so leave me alone. Mixing her chocolate with the spoon, she showed no signs of losing her smile. Fine, but don't complain about it being hot anymore, okay? Hey, I didn't complain that much. Yeah. Well, it would be easier to get this talk over with while she was happy. I spoke to her once again to talk about the day and to apologize for everything that happened. Thank you for today. Yeah, sure, thanks for the hot chocolate. She tilted her cup, obviously enjoying it until the last drop. Are you okay with just that? I mean, it helps that it's so cheap. I like it. We didn't end up finding anyone today anyways. I thought this is how it would turn out in the end. That's mean. So you're saying that this idea that we had was a bad one? I'm not saying that. But in truth, I did not think it was a great idea. I was wondering though, today why did you only ask male students? It was probably a little more intrusive of me to worry about her like that, but I couldn't help but noticing. I thought it'd be easier to ask mainly friends for this kind of thing. I mean, if you have a lot of guy friends, I'm cool with that, I'm just confused. I said it nonchalantly, but if that were actually the case, trust me, I would not be okay with it. Huh? Toyota put down the cup she had finished drinking from and faced me. Why would you ask me something like that? I'm sorry, it was just a thought I had. One more thing. The last male student she asked didn't even know her name. I knew we needed a vocalist, as Torta had explained, but at least ask the students that she's met before. It's jealousy, isn't it? Yeah, right. You do admit it. Maybe about a third of it is as you say. That's oddly specific. It's not half. I'm worried about your relationships as a friend, and jealous as your childhood friend. That's two. What's the other one? There's an issue. You didn't know that last student, did you? I thought I recognized him. You don't have any friends that are girls? Huh? At first, she didn't seem to understand what I meant by what was rather a fairly rude question. But with time, she slowly came to understand. Of course I do. Well, you're not like me, so I don't know if that's true. But don't say that about yourself. You were going to say it though, weren't you? Still. Yeah, so is there some reason? They just weren't in the practice rooms. Listen, I can't pair you up with a girl, okay? Why's that? The rumor. The one we talked about before? You don't believe that, do you? No, I don't. So why? Jealousy is about 1/10 of it. That's not that much. That's just as your childhood friend. So what about the rest? There are things you don't believe but are afraid of, right? Not that I could think of. Really? Do you believe in God? Where did that even come from? Just answer. There's an actual this matters? Okay, so this actually matters. Interesting. So it is. Yeah, we're gonna Fedora it actually, according to this route that we're in. I don't think I believe in the true sense of the word, but what's wrong with that? Right. But don't you think that most wouldn't do bad things like vandalize the church? That's probably true. Even though I don't believe it, I don't want you connected with the rumor. It was kind of a stretch that had to fill in the remaining 9 cents. I thought about why she didn't want me connected with it, but I stopped myself. Well, I suppose I understand. I thought you would. Even so, God? Oh, but it's not like I don't believe it. Yeah, I'm the same. That's why I pray at church. Yeah, but you said you don't believe in the true sense of God. If religious guidance helps us become better people, then you can't say God doesn't exist and intervene. What's that about? Did you read that in some book or something? No, I actually heard someone say it. I guess someone would say that. Imagining our friend who said that, Torta whispered in her eyes, slightly lowered. But if there was a God, I was just thinking about all the bad things in the world that would go away. I was just about to say the same thing. I didn't expect you to get so deep. Don't you think so? It's not like I disagree with your sentiment, it's just rather unlikely. I know, I was just thinking it would be nice. You know, that's not very much like you. Like me. Yeah, you're right. Seeming to bounce back, Torta stood up and grabbed her empty cup. Alright, it's time to go home. Yeah. It was raining as always, and it was dark. I'm home. Oh, welcome home. You're late. Did something happen? I heard Forney's reply from outside the room. Yeah, well. I tossed my bag into the room and wiped my hair with a towel by the door. Is it still raining? The same as always. Never gets old. Sure doesn't. We chatted and looked outside the window. Then I stuffed the towel into the laundry basket and finally entered the room. So, why are you so late? I was with Torta today looking for a partner. Did you find one? All of them were a no-go. Our method of searching sucked. Method of searching? Torta just burst into every practice room and said, please be this guy's partner. What is that? She's just bursting in? She'd knock on the soundproof door and go in after they noticed. Just what I said.
という
Which
こと
means
は
that had to have been her idea. That's right. So you get it, right?
それ
I
は
get
ね
it. That's just like her. I suppose one could say that. You know, she was reliable, but she did have a few faults. Forney had actually met her, just not too many times. I talked about Torta so much that Forney's image of her was locked in her head. But she did do it for you, so you should still be grateful all the same. I am. I didn't know who Torta was to Forney, but it was obvious that she liked her. She also seemed to think of the same as Ari, who I just talked about just as much. Then I told Forney about my day, the same as always.
あんまり実りのない一日だったね
Well, a fruitless day. Having listened to everything, Forney didn't look bored. In fact, she looked happy. She said things like that, but she enjoyed hearing about the outside. I guess so. Alright, time to make dinner.
今日はね
What are you gonna make today? Oh, whatever. I ate whatever I whipped up and the day ended as always. But then, as always, I fell asleep, listening to the droplets of rain. December 4th. I think we skipped a day. Yesterday. With 5 long days over, I took Saturday and Sunday off. And I'm killing time again today too. It was just the same as always. Now then, the time was a little after 6 o'clock. I was just about to say it's Sunday. Her letter is about to be in the mailbox. It's about time, isn't it? Forney noticed me talking to myself and was thinking the same exact thing I was. I'll go get it.
はい
Alright, I'll see you soon. Even though I was only going to get the letter from the mailbox, she always sent me off happily. I never showed Forney the letters from Ari. She badgered me many times to see them at first, but when I declined, saying I was embarrassed, she never asked again. Well, she was probably only interested in the letters because we could do our ensembles when I was done reading. I took out the letter I knew would be in the mailbox, and I went back to my room. Even though we wouldn't start the ensemble until I had read the letter and written my reply, I could tell Forney was thinking about the ensemble from the restless flapping of her wings. I suppose she was uncomplicated. I ignored her, carefully cut open the envelope, and took out the letter. Inside was a single sheet of paper, the same as always.
クリス
Chris, is it still raining there?
こちらも珍しく
In a rare turn of events, it rained recently here too. I like rainy days because I can understand how you feel.
さて
Now, I know this is sudden, but Torta seems worried about your partner
真
situation.
面目に探し
She
て
wrote me
話す
saying that you aren't very serious in looking, but that's just like you.
いつでも
You've always had a bad habit of getting annoyed and putting things off ever since you were a little kid.
言葉遣いは変わる
Torta said that you talk a little different now, but that underneath you were still very much the
それ
same.
だけの相手だ
But
でも私は
I know that you're serious about things you really do like, so it's okay.
と考え
Think
て
about what you like. All I can come up with is music, so this might be a problem.
話がそ
I'm
れ
wandering off topic
と
again.
にかく
Don't you think it would be best to look seriously?
それと
Or
も
maybe, by the time I've written this letter, you have already found someone good and are already practicing. If so, I'm sorry.
最初
I'll apologize first. If not, I can imagine you sulking like a kid saying, hey, I'm already doing
も
that.
し決まっていた
If you haven't decided yet, how about my sister?
私は
I'm just
素
an
人だ
amateur and I don't know anything about music, but I just thought that since you've known her since you were little, it would just be easy to play
最
together
終
with
的
her.
には
In the end, you could always decide as you like. I'm sorry for meddling in your situation. Until the next letter, then.
ありがとう
Love, Arietta. I took my eyes off the letter and was lost in thought. I knew I should pair up with Torta, but for some reason I was hesitant to do so. I'd have to do it if I really couldn't find anyone else, but that wasn't necessarily the case. I was really expecting it, but Miss Falsita had asked me. And I may be wrong about this one, but there's also Lise and the girl I was strangely interested in. If I told Torta this, though, she'd get angry at me for being indecisive. But I felt that I needed some distance between Torta and myself was needed, so wasn't something to decide here and then. I wondered if it was so bad to take some more time to think about the issue. True, there wasn't much time left, but one could also say that there was over a month. What a bother. Of course, thinking that way would only mean more problems for me. I couldn't help thinking
ね
about
え
it.
ね
Did you write your reply? Does it look like I did?
え見えないからそう言ってる
Of
んじゃ
course
ない
not. That's why I asked. Then you should tell me to hurry up and write it instead.
なら早く書きなさい
Okay, then hurry up and write it. Even though I was the one who told her to say that to me, it still made me a little angry. I was just trying to correct her language, but I knew that if I explained that, Forney wouldn't have understood. Yeah. I answered casually and got ready to write my reply. I decided to keep the content simple. I tried my best to avoid the topic of whether or not I'd pair up with her sister. She'd just say the same things again in her next letter, but I'd deal with that next Sunday. I just wanted to put it off for a while. Are you done yet? Almost. It was a letter on a single sheet, just as short as hers. Thinking that my letters to her must be piled up just as mine were to hers, I put Ari's letter in a drawer and put the one I'd just written in an empty envelope. Forney saw this and began warming up her voice to hurry me along. Her actions were so ostentatious I was driven by a desire to tease her a little. But I thought that teasing her after keeping her waiting would make Forney mad, so I stopped myself. Alright, let us begin. Okay. My ensemble with the fairy began as usual and the day drew to a close. Hey, we're at today. Monday, December 5th, even though today's Thursday. As usual, I woke up to Forney's greeting and got ready for school, but bit by bit, changes were about to follow in a life that had already stayed the same until just last week. I may come home a little later starting today. You said the same thing last week. Of course, I was busy last week looking for people and so on, but now I'm probably going to be even later. And why is that? Do you think that finding someone is the end of it? I have to practice after that, so of course I'll stay later. That's true. That was easier than expected. I thought you may have had some complaints, like so late or stupid. Were you trying to sound like me? Yeah. You should stop. Yeah, sorry about that. It's okay if you know it. Well, there's nothing to be done about coming home late on weekdays, but don't schedule practice on Sundays. Why not? Because you'll say I'm tired or that's it, and we won't be able to practice. Were you trying to sound like me? I'll stop. Shouldn't have started in the first place. Anyways, I can't deny that possibility, so I'll do my best to avoid practicing on Sundays. That's good. Thank you. In any case, I had no intention of practicing any day on the weekend. Well, you probably had no intention of practicing on the weekend. That's not true. Really? Yeah, really. That was a straight and blatant lie, but having something like that said in my face was bound to just make me upset. Time to settle and just move on. Anyway, I'll be a little late. Don't be worried. Alright, alright. Once in a blue mood, Forney would get things right away. She'd accept it when there was something I didn't really like or when I refused to give way. But on the other hand, she could also be very selfish or say things that got me in trouble, so it wasn't all praise. Okay, I'll see you later. I took a deep breath of the moist morning air and ran out to the rain. My letter to Ari was in my bag where it wouldn't get wet. I ran to the mailbox and posted my letter using my body to shield it from rain. This letter would reach her, and her next letter would reach me. That cycle would never change. Hey, good morning. As I was warming my fingers, Miss Cordell entered the classroom a little later than me. It seems like you did quite a lot last week, but wasn't there results? A lot. How did you know about that? I'm your teacher. What I should be aware of, I am. You're not answering my question. I don't intend to, so perhaps you probably heard it from Asano. Well, my efforts were not in vain last week. You mean aside from Tortanita? Yes, for now. I'm asking for names. I'm tired of placeholder answers. Okay, fine then. Do you know a student by the name of Falsita Fawcett? I do. Of course, nothing's been decided yet, but we talked about playing together. And what are you planning to do? I don't know yet, of course. We're going to see how we sound together sometime this week, and I'll take it from there. That was supposed to be an unexpected name, but Miss Cordell simply nodded without any sign of surprise. Well, I'd never seen her actually surprised before, so such a reaction probably would have made me more put on the spot. Oh, of course, and then there was Lee's. But this was extremely uncertain, so I'm not going to mention it. Well, Chris, you did well, given your track record. It does feel strange to be praised for finding just one more candidate. Did that sound like praise to you? My mistake. Good. Now then, time for practice. Are you ready? Yes. Then let us begin. Oh, it didn't let me play. There wasn't anything I wanted to eat, so I made do with the simple lunch. Just when I thought it was about time, lo and behold, Torta sat down hurriedly next to me. Hey, morning. Well, how did last week go? Yeah. Miss Cordell asked me the same thing in the week before, too. That just shows how much she cares about me, right? You should be honored. Thanks for the optimism. Well, I found one more candidate, and that's all. An increase. So nothing. Is it someone I know? I don't know about that, but her first name is Falsita. Oh, that is a rather dark expression change. Of course I know who she is. I think everyone does. She was the class president, so it is true. And you're gonna now
練習でも
practice with her? More or less. When? She said Tuesdays or Thursdays. Is something wrong?
それ以外に
What about the other days? She has errands to run. Torta, why asking all these questions? I wanted to ask her, but Torta looked down and thought for a second and looked over at me again.
あのね
So that means you won't be practicing every day. No, I guess not. I would probably go to the practice rooms myself on the days off. Even though the chances of that happening were probably non-existent. In that case, will you practice with me?
私と練習
Your
しな
song
い
for the graduation
卒業演奏
recital,
の
it's
曲
just anything.
さ
It's Ari's letter. She asked me to help you out. Thing is, I'm busy with my writing my own songs, so it's not as if I have that much time to spare. I see. She wrote it in your letter to you as well.
ということは
Which means
そっち
she
に
said
も
the
書い
same
て
thing in your letter. Yeah. I did call her a busybody in my reply, though.
それで
Well, what should we do? I think it's worth a shot.
Nana-san.
And how about today? Shall we practice? Today, huh? This is probably how you go down her route. So we're gonna say not today. Not today.
そう
Alright. I'm sorry.
謝る
No
こ
need
と
to
なんてないから
apologize. Just let me know when you're free. I'm
まあ
free
暇にでもな
just
ったら
every day
いつ
that's
でも
not
言って
Tuesday
ね
and Thursday. Got it. Thanks. And sorry. I understood, but I hadn't worked out how I felt out about it. If not for Ari's suggestion, I would have said no probably more easily. Forget about me and put yourself first. Something like that. Still, it was Ari's letter that was the cause of my confusion. Perhaps Ari too felt like it would be easier if I just paired up with her sister. Torta, whom we all knew so well, instead of someone entirely unknown.
じゃあ私はこれから
Well,
練習に行
I'm
くか
gonna
ら
go practice now. Alright. Torta definitely didn't show, but there was a hint of sadness in her voice, so slight I could hear it. Perhaps the whole thing should have been viewed more positively, more so than I did then. Today was out of the question, but next time perhaps I'd try to ask her in a more upbeat way. Now then, what should I do? We can go to the practice room, or we can go to the old wing. Let's go to the practice room today. I decided not to meet anyone and practice by myself. That way I'd be a better performer. Such reasons did exist. First, I could play the song from part to end or practice it in parts. Practice in parts. Well, guess it's time to go home. It was getting late. I tidied up the practice room and went home. The 6th of December, Tuesday. Our first chance to go ahead and practice with falsetto. As usual, I finished my morning lesson and lunch. Well then, what should I do next? We're gonna go to the leftmost practice room. That's what she told us to go to, at least. Let's save, just in case I screw up and pick the wrong one. But I'm assuming it's this one, because that's a new spot. I headed for the far end of the hallway, to the place I was to meet Fal. Nice! I decided to go see her on the first day she'd specified, as I was interested to find out what her voice and approach to music were like. Now that I think about it, I had only had a few experiences rehearsing with someone that I barely knew. I was slightly nervous as I peeked through the small window of the practice room door, but I spotted her immediately. I was wondering what I should have said if she had just been singing, but there was no signs of her singing, and she just sat at the piano reading music. The rooms were soundproof, so I doubted that she would hear me even knock. However, I still knocked all the same. Good afternoon. Oh, Chris, hi. She pushed the piano chair and turned back to face me. How nice of you to come by so soon. Well, I didn't have any plans in particular, so... Taking my bag from my shoulder, I started to wonder what kind of approach to take when Fal took the reins and began talking. I know this is sudden, but shall we try rehearsing something? Since this is our first attempt, I don't even mind what song we use. It may be more practical for us to use a song that we will actually play at the graduation recital. I agree. You pen your own compositions, do you not? More or less, yes. Speaking of which, do people in the vocal course also pen their own songs? Pen, huh? Why did I say that? Is speaking formally that strange for you? Well, yes. Was that obvious? It is not often that I hear other people use the term pen a composition. It sounds rather natural when you use that expression, though, Fal. Perhaps I should be a little less formal then. Well, we both are in the same year after all. Saying this to me teasingly, I was reminded that we actually were in the same year. It'd be a bit odd if we kept talking like that after becoming partners. That's even if we do. Maybe it was because she'd always be in a position to speak politely, but her eloquent use of words had always seemed natural. But just as she sounds natural when speaking like any young girl. She also sounds natural just as she did now. That's true. Do you want to keep it casual then?
クリスさんさ
If
え
you
良
have
けれ
no
ば
objections, I'm cool with doing that. Done. We both nodded agreement and then returned to our
とり
discussion.
あえず
Alright then, I've written some
私
songs
も
too.
曲は作って
I wrote some that should match your Fratelli, so in that sense they should be good. You wrote with my Fratelli in mind?
でき
I
れ
was
ば
hoping to pair with the Fratelli player if possible. But as if there was no one who played at the time, I made the songs and waited aloud for vocal
歌の
solos
ソロでも問
just
題
in
ない曲
case. It's all good. I was very impressed with how thorough that had been. Just from her attitude towards music, there was obviously a big difference. But she was the one that approached me wanting to try rehearsing together, so I guess I didn't really need to be concerned about differences.
あとは
I'm not really
ク
sure
リ
what
ス
your
さんの
songs
曲
are
が
like,
どん
but
なの
we'll
か
have to
は
choose
知ら
one
ん
of mine or yours. That is, yeah. Perhaps it was because I rarely spoke to other girls, but despite the fact we just stopped being so formal, I was still kind of awkward.
慣れなかった
You know,
ら
you can speak however you want. Despite my awkwardness, I did feel comfort in the friendly way she spoke to me. It sounded like we had decided to partner up, but with that in mind, I decided I should speak normally as possible. I'm okay now. I'll speak how I always do.
大丈
Saying
夫
you're okay
って
sounds
い
a
うの
little strange, but anyway, about the song. Yeah, mind if I mention something about that? Yeah, be my guest. I'd always practice this song without any particular in mind. Of course, it wasn't like nothing I put into composition. However, it was true that I wasn't composed with the singer in mind. Perhaps sorry, but even then that was a long shot. It's not like I imagined her hilariously chorusing when I composed it, though. There's a song I composed when thinking about Ari after reading her letters. The song I composed probably won't suit you too well.
あわ
What do you mean? It was composed with a different singer in mind, so it might not be in a key that suits your voice. I see. It wasn't a harmful lie. My songs wouldn't have suited her voice. So if it's okay, why don't we go with your song? I don't mind. After saying a few words, she went quiet. She stared into my eyes as if searching for something. And then she lit up with a smile.
そうそれなら
We'll go with my
そう
song.
しましょうか
I'm assuming we're at to play it, so I'm going to save just in case I play like a egregious. Okay, great.
よかった
This is good. The score that I copied won't go to waste. I was relieved that she's blushing again. Wasn't attempting to pry. But then I realized I had completely forgotten about the scores. You've already made copies? I had completely forgotten.
そうなんだ
Well, I guess you're in luck. Upon saying this, she reached in her bag and pulled out the score.
急いで
Here
写
you
してた
go.
ら
I was in a
少し
rush when I
雑か
copied
もしれ
them,
ないけど
so they might be a little messy. I checked them in the moment she said that, but I soon realized she was just being humble. The carefully written notes and symbols were done in the shorthand only an experienced musician could write. However, it hardly made them look messy. In fact, it gave them a stronger impression of the quality. You think this is messy?
私にとって
It
は
is to me. Okay, what do you think of the song? Jokingly, she commented on the quality of her score. I sat myself in the down and in front of my Fratelli and imagined the melody.
どう
How is it? Just one sec. Oh,
クリスさんって
are you good at sight reading? Yeah, I'm not too bad. In that case, let's give it a try. Ready when you are. Yeah, let's give it a shot. All right, let's get it. Here's our chance to impress her with our music schools. Music skill. I can't speak. Music of rain. Also kind of jiggy. Oh my god. Guys, we're not impressing her at all. This is insane. I'm not trying. God. I think we're doing well. That was bad. That was very bad. That was incredibly bad. That was bad. That was bad. That was very, very bad. That was bad. We're gonna try that again on easy mode. That was insane. Alright, let's try this again. That was insane. I just better get some Mega Weapon. There was no Phoenix to save me there. Oh, okay, we're starting off better on easy mode. I lied. Good God, this is insane. Okay, I just gotta... Okay, there we go. Okay, I got this now. Oh, listen to that. We're going off now. Oh, I lied. Oh my God, this is insane. Okay. No, chill. We got this. Here we go. I don't even want to try this song on the hardest difficulty. Yeah, this is the easy mode. I guess you just get more points for, The song's kind of jiggy, though. Oh, here we go. Yeah, kind of, huh? I feel that. We 5-starred it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do now. Okay, we got this. Check this out. We're gonna put this on expert. This is through the fire and flames on expert all over again. Ready when you are. Let's get it. We 100% this SC, no miss. You guys know the deal. Let's get it. Easy. Ah, Q, T. We're not supposed to be using these letters. What is this back arrow? X? No, I'm not. I can't exit. I'm not doing this. Why is back arrow a key? Oh, we got this. We got this. We come back, as always, right? 3 down in the series when we come back. Here we go, here we go. Okay, I can get this. I can get this. Oh yeah, we're popping off now. Beautiful. Beautifully done. You need like 8 fingers to do this. I really like this song as well. We go. Ah. Beautiful. Goodness. We're going back on normal. You're losing it here at local? I'm losing it here at local. This song is insane. It's jamming though, I'll say that much. This song is a banger. Okay. We got this. Oh, that was me spamming on the keyboard, by the way. FC 100% blindfolded. Oh, we're popping off tonight. Look at this. This is insane. I don't. Oh, good. Okay. This is ridiculous. We can come back. We can come back. We come back. We come back. We do not miss a note from here on out. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, we're popping off right now. I think I'm doing okay. Well, I was almost okay. I kind of got it at the end. go off. We go. Alright, I'll try this song one more time and then I'll go to bed. We're gonna try it again. We go again. This is insane. This song is just insanity. What is up with this this little countdown that they give us too? It's the impending doom calculator. That has to be the hardest song in this game. We played the other ones on normal and didn't even skip a goddamn beat. Like, it was on it. I thought I mastered the Fortelli for a second when I played these other songs. You give me this one and it's like my 5-year-old self trying Through the Fire and Flames on Expert. Not even knowing what finger I'm supposed to use to press the orange key. This is ridiculous. Oh, we go. That was actually kind of decent. That was not kind of decent. This song's a slapper though. Well, we completed it. You know what? Good job. That was impressive for the first attempt. We're gonna end the stream here tonight. Really? Yeah, I'm stunned about as you guys are. That was probably not as impressive as the first attempt as we had wanted. But it's 2:30 in the morning. I've got to go get sleep. I hope you guys had enjoyed the stream tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed my competitive Fortelli playing. I will see you guys back here tomorrow, probably Crisis Core depending on what time I get home, as well as Symphonic Rain. Have a nice night. Yeah, everyone's got to pat themselves on the back. God, my hands are still bleeding, you guys. Alright, good night, you guys. Thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow.